Did you know that the average home holds over 300,000 items for seniors? It is astonishing to consider that within these walls there exists a lifetime's worth of memories, along with an incredible amount of stuff that has accumulated over the years. If you find yourself feeling overwhelmed by the sheer volume of items in your home, know that you are not alone in this experience. However, here is some good news. Decluttering does not have to be a stressful endeavor that leaves you with lingering regret over your decisions. In fact, by employing a few simple strategies, most mistakes that occur during the decluttering process can be avoided altogether. Perhaps you have been unintentionally keeping clutter that is draining your space, energy, and peace of mind. Stay with me as today we reveal the 8 most common decluttering mistakes that seniors make and explain how to fix 99% of them. Let us get started on this journey of transformation together. Allow me to introduce Diane, a retired teacher in her 70s whose story exemplifies the struggles and triumphs of decluttering a lifetime's accumulation. For decades, Diane built a home filled with memories, from her children's colorful artwork to her late husband's cherished belongings. In every corner of her house, there were items that told the beautiful story of her life. However, when Diane made the decision that it was time to downsize and simplify, she quickly discovered an unexpected reality. Her home was not only filled with precious memories, but also overwhelmed with clutter. Like so many others in her situation, Diane felt completely overwhelmed by the task ahead. At the very beginning of her decluttering journey, Diane attempted to tackle everything at once. She believed that by handling all of her belongings on her own in one massive effort, she could quickly restore order to her home. Instead of making progress, however, she soon found herself drowning in decisions. She began making some of the most common decluttering mistakes that many seniors fall prey to, and these missteps turned the entire process into a veritable nightmare. Diane ended up keeping items that she did not truly need, throwing away things that she later regretted parting with, and ultimately feeling entirely stuck in her efforts. Does any of this sound familiar to you? But here is the encouraging part. Diane managed to turn her situation around, and you can too, simply by learning a few straightforward strategies. Diane not only succeeded in decluttering her home, but also rediscovered the peace and joy that she had been missing for many years. If you have ever felt as though your belongings are holding you back, or that the mere idea of decluttering is overwhelmingly stressful, then please stay with me, because today I will walk you through the exact steps that Diane used to transform both her home and her life. Before we proceed any further, please remember to hit that like button and subscribe to this channel for more practical life advice that is tailored specifically for seniors. Your support is invaluable and helps us create content that inspires and empowers you at every step of your journey. Now, let us begin our exploration of these common pitfalls and how to avoid them. Mistake number 1 is trying to declutter everything at once. Diane was incredibly excited to start her decluttering journey. In her imagination, she pictured herself strolling through her home, room by room, clearing away years of accumulated items, confident that she could accomplish the entire task in a single weekend. She envisioned that within just a couple of days she would have tackled everything, and the resulting sense of relief from having a clutter-free space would be overwhelming. However, by Sunday afternoon, Diane found herself completely wiped out. Instead of feeling relieved, her house looked more chaotic than ever before, and the enormous task that lay ahead suddenly appeared utterly impossible. She became exhausted, overwhelmed, and at the brink of giving up entirely. Does this scenario sound familiar? Many seniors fall into the trap of believing that decluttering must occur all at once. When confronted with an overwhelming amount of clutter, our minds race with the idea of simply getting it over with in one giant effort. However, trying to declutter your entire home in one single weekend is simply not a realistic approach. It is much like trying to consume an enormous meal in one single bite. Eventually, you will choke on the process. The truth is, decluttering does not have to be an all-or-nothing endeavor. You do not need to address every item in your home at the same time in order to see real progress. The secret is to break the process down into smaller, manageable goals. Begin by focusing on one small area at a time. Perhaps start with a single drawer, a small shelf in your closet, or even a box of old papers. The key is to start small and to celebrate every victory along the way. Each little win, no matter how minor it may seem, adds up to a much larger transformation over time. For instance, Diane decided one weekend to focus exclusively on her kitchen. She began by clearing out just one drawer, just that one small space. To her great surprise, she discovered how much easier it was to stay focused when she was not attempting to clear out every cupboard simultaneously. The very next weekend, she tackled a single shelf, proceeding little by little. Gradually, the clutter began to disappear, and before long, Diane was making significant progress without ever feeling overwhelmed. This method is so effective because it is sustainable. Instead of burning yourself out in a single massive effort, you build momentum slowly. Every small goal you complete brings with it a sense of accomplishment and further motivates you to continue. Moreover, by proceeding in this deliberate manner, you allow yourself the necessary time and energy to make thoughtful decisions about what truly belongs in your life and what does not. Always remember that the ultimate goal is progress, not perfection. Have you ever attempted to declutter everything at once, only to find yourself feeling overwhelmed? Please share your experiences in the comments below. Mistake number 2 is holding on to sentimental items that you will never actually use. We all have that box, or perhaps even several boxes, filled with old photos, souvenirs, and knickknacks that chronicle the story of our past. These items hold the memories of our children's childhoods, the joy of family vacations, and milestones that we cherish forever. But the question remains, do these sentimental items truly bring you joy, or are they simply gathering dust? It is incredibly difficult to part with sentimental items. Many of us feel that letting go of these objects means that we are somehow forgetting the precious memories they represent. However, the truth is that holding on to every single item does not preserve those treasured memories. Rather, it can overwhelm your living space and add unnecessary stress to your life. Diane faced this very same challenge. She had a box full of mementos from her children's school years, letters, drawings, and even trophies that had been tucked away for decades. Every item in that box held a story, and the mere thought of letting them go felt almost impossible. Eventually, Diane came to an important realization. The memories do not reside in the objects themselves, but rather in her heart. With this understanding, she decided to approach the process of decluttering sentimental items in a different manner. Instead of feeling compelled to keep every single thing, she began by taking photographs of those sentimental items. The colorful birthday cards her children had lovingly made for her, the handprint art from their preschool days, and even the antique teacups that had been passed down by her grandmother. By creating a digital collection of these items, Diane found that she could preserve the memories without having them physically occupy valuable space in her home. Through this process, she was able to keep only the most meaningful items, those that truly added value to her present life, while gently letting go of the rest. In doing so, she did not feel as though she was losing the memories. Instead, she felt a remarkable sense of freedom and organization, and she enjoyed a newfound peace knowing that the most important pieces of her past were preserved in an accessible, clutter-free format. It is not necessary to hold on to every physical item in order to honor your past. You can preserve your cherished memories in ways that do not weigh you down. What is the hardest sentimental item for you to let go of? I invite you to share your story in the comments below. I would love to hear about your experiences. Mistake number 3 is not asking for help when you need it. Diane, like many others, believed that she had to handle everything on her own. She did not want to burden her children with the difficult task of sorting through decades of accumulated items, and she thought that asking for help would somehow make her appear incapable. Consequently, she set out to declutter her home entirely on her own, under the false assumption that she could power through the entire process by herself. Unfortunately, after weeks of attempting to sort through everything on her own, Diane became overwhelmed, exhausted, and ultimately stuck. She was not making the progress she had envisioned, and the clutter seemed to multiply rather than diminish. In the end, she began to feel more frustrated than accomplished. That is when Diane experienced a pivotal moment of clarity. She realized that decluttering does not have to be a solitary journey. One evening, after a particularly challenging day in which she struggled to make decisions, Diane reached out and called her son Matt. To her great relief, he agreed to help, and soon her daughter Sarah and even a few close friends joined in to lend their support. With their assistance, Diane found that the task became much lighter and more manageable. Working together, they made incredible progress, and Diane discovered that the experience was not solely about clearing out physical clutter. It became a shared, meaningful experience filled with laughter, storytelling, and even a few moments of nostalgia. Diane's family was happy to help because they understood how important it was for her to move forward and reclaim her space. The lesson here is clear: do not be afraid to ask for help, whether from family, friends, or even a professional organizer, if needed. The burden does not have to fall solely on your shoulders. Sometimes an extra pair of helping hands can make all the difference, turning what might have been an overwhelming, stressful task into an enjoyable and fulfilling activity. Have you ever tried to tackle a large task on your own, only to realize that you needed help? Please share your experiences in the comments below. I would love to hear your story. Mistake number 4 is keeping things just in case. Raise your hand if you have a drawer filled with cords for devices you no longer own, just in case you might need them someday. I am sure many of us have been guilty of this behavior. We often hold on to items with the justification that we might need them at some point in the future, such as that old charger for a phone you replaced 5 years ago, or a collection of random cables that have no clear purpose. The problem is that those just-in-case items rarely ever get used. Instead, they simply pile up, occupying space and adding to the overall clutter in your home. Diane was guilty of this as well. She had accumulated a collection of mismatched cords, spare buttons, and outdated kitchen gadgets. She kept them with the hope that someday they might be useful, yet that day never arrived. Despite her attempts to convince herself that these items were essential, they remained as nothing more than dust collectors that consumed valuable space in her home. It was not until Diane realized just how much room these forgotten items were taking up that she decided it was time to make a change. The solution, Diane discovered, was simple: create a just-in-case box. Place all the items that you are uncertain about into this box and give yourself a strict deadline, say 6 months. If, by the end of that period, you have not used or needed any of those items, then it is time to let them go for good. This method allows you to be decisive without the lingering fear of regret. By setting a clear deadline, you are giving yourself a realistic time frame to determine what is truly worth keeping and what is simply taking up space without any real purpose. And let's be honest, if you have not needed that extra charger, that spare lampshade, or that random set of kitchen utensils in months or even years, chances are you will never need them at all. Mistake number 5 is not having a clear plan for donations or trash. Diane encountered another challenge that is all too common when attempting to declutter. She ended up with large piles of items that she no longer wanted, yet she was unsure of where to take them. Her dining room quickly became a temporary holding area filled with bags and boxes containing old clothes, household goods, and books. Unfortunately, these piles did nothing to alleviate the clutter. Rather, they added to the chaos and made the decluttering process even more overwhelming. Every time Diane passed by these accumulated items, she felt an increasing sense of discouragement, as if the process was never truly progressing. The solution is straightforward: plan ahead. Before you begin the process of decluttering, take some time to research local charities, recycling programs, and trash pickup services in your area. Know in advance where you can take items for donation, which items can be recycled, and which ones should be discarded as trash. This pre-planning ensures that you are not left wondering what to do with everything once you have sorted it all out. Diane eventually learned this lesson the hard way. She took the time to map out nearby donation centers, recycling drop-off points, and trash collection services, and the next time she had a pile of items ready to be removed from her home, she knew exactly where to take them. This clarity made the process much smoother and far less stressful. An additional tip is to set a timeline for removing these items from your home. Do not allow them to linger. Once you have decided to part with an item, do not allow yourself to second-guess the decision. Pack it up and remove it from your home as soon as possible. This approach helps prevent the just-in-case mentality from creeping back in and cluttering your space once again. Have you already found a favorite place to donate your unwanted items? Please share your recommendations in the comments below. It may help someone else who is looking for a good place to give. Mistake number 6 is forgetting to celebrate progress. Diane's journey to declutter was not merely about removing items. It was about reclaiming space, restoring peace, and regaining control over her environment. Yet, as she immersed herself in the process, she made a mistake that is all too common. She became so focused on the ultimate goal of a completely clutter-free home that she neglected to acknowledge and celebrate the progress she was making along the way. Every drawer that she cleared, every shelf that she organized, and every bag of items that she donated represented a victory, but she failed to recognize these milestones. Instead of feeling a sense of accomplishment, she only fixated on the clutter that still remained, which left her feeling discouraged and overwhelmed. This is a frequent pitfall, especially when one is striving to implement a significant change in life. It is all too easy to overlook the effort that has already been invested and to become disheartened by the remaining work. However, it is important to remember that decluttering is not a race. It is a process that unfolds gradually, and every small victory should be celebrated. To avoid burnout and to maintain motivation, Diane began setting small milestones for herself. For example, after successfully clearing out her guest room, she rewarded herself with a delightful lunch at her favorite cafe. Later, after finishing a closet that had been overflowing with old clothes, she treated herself to a quiet movie night, accompanied by a soothing cup of tea. These small rewards not only provided her with the emotional boost she needed to continue, but also helped her focus on the positive aspects of the journey. It is essential to set milestones and to take time to appreciate each step of progress. Remember that decluttering is not solely about the act of removing items. It is about creating a space that feels lighter, more peaceful, and truly aligned with who you are today. Recognizing and celebrating every little victory will help sustain your momentum and ensure that you remain motivated throughout the entire process. Have you ever embarked on a major task and forgotten to celebrate your progress along the way? What little victories do you make sure to acknowledge? Please share your experiences in the comments. Mistake number 7 is decluttering without a clear vision. When Diane initially began her journey of decluttering, she did not have a clear, defined vision of what she wanted her home to feel like once the process was complete. Although she knew deep down that she was tired of living in a cluttered space, she had not taken the time to articulate the reasons behind her decision. As a result, her motivation began to wane, and the task started to feel aimless and overwhelming. Without a clear picture of the desired outcome, it is all too easy to lose momentum and become uncertain about the direction in which you are headed. The truth is, decluttering without a vision is much like embarking on a road trip without a destination in mind. You may make some progress, but eventually you will find yourself lost or unsure of what you are aiming for. It is natural to lose steam when you do not have a clear sense of purpose to drive you forward. When Diane finally took a step back and asked herself why she truly wanted to declutter, everything changed. She realized that her goal was not merely to remove excess items from her home, but to create a space that was peaceful, welcoming, and conducive to spending quality time with her family. She envisioned her living room as an open area where her grandchildren could play without obstacles, and she pictured her bedroom as a serene retreat that offered tranquility after a long day. By defining her vision, Diane found that her purpose was renewed, and she was able to remain focused and motivated throughout the process. Ask yourself, why am I decluttering? Is it to create more freedom in my space? To simplify my life so that I can make room for new experiences? Or to establish a welcoming home environment for my loved ones? When you have a clear vision, it serves as a guiding light that helps you make decisions with confidence. Please, share in the comments what your vision is for your space after decluttering. I would love to hear how you plan to transform your home into a sanctuary that truly reflects who you are. Mistake number 8 is letting guilt hold you back from letting go. This particular mistake resonates deeply with many of us. Diane had accumulated several items that she did not use but felt compelled to keep simply because of guilt. There was a gift from a kind, well-meaning friend that never quite suited her taste. a beautiful vase from her aunt that did not fit with her home's decor, and an old couch that her children insisted she hold onto because of its sentimental value. Diane struggled with the idea of discarding these items because she felt that doing so would somehow be disrespectful, or as though she was discarding the memories attached to them. We all have items like these, the ones that feel too important, too sentimental, or too tied to a relationship to let go of easily. The truth is, it is all too common to let guilt dictate our decisions when it comes to decluttering. You might feel as though you are betraying someone or failing to honor a cherished memory by letting go of an item that was given to you. However, the essential realization is that holding on to something solely out of guilt does not truly honor the memory or the relationship. On the contrary, it can weigh you down and prevent you from fully enjoying the things that you do love. The solution that Diane found was to practice gratitude. Instead of clinging to an item out of obligation, she took a moment to sincerely thank the person who had given it to her, acknowledging the love and thoughtfulness behind the gift. Once she expressed gratitude, she was able to let the item go without feeling as though she was discarding a cherished memory. Remember that letting go of an object does not erase the memory or diminish the significance of the relationship. It simply allows you to move forward in life with more freedom and space for what truly matters. If guilt is keeping you from decluttering, consider shifting your perspective by practicing gratitude, and then allow yourself to release the item with no regrets. Have you ever struggled with letting go of something due to guilt? Please share your experience in the comments below. Diane's decluttering journey was not an overnight transformation, but with each step she took, she made remarkable progress. By following the strategies we have discussed, from breaking the process down into manageable goals, to carefully sorting through sentimental items, asking for help when needed, and planning ahead for donations, Diane transformed her home from a chaotic, cluttered space into a peaceful and inviting sanctuary. Her living room, once burdened by unused furniture and accumulated knickknacks, became a warm, welcoming area where she could sit with her family and enjoy the simple pleasures of life. Likewise, her guest room, which had previously served as a dumping ground for items she could not decide what to do with, was transformed into a cozy retreat for friends and loved ones. Although the physical clutter was gone, the memories and the joy that they represented remained, making her home a place where she could truly relax and feel at peace. Diane learned that decluttering is not merely about eliminating physical items. It is about creating a life that feels lighter, freer, and more in tune with who you are today. In clearing away the unnecessary clutter, she created space for the things that genuinely matter: quality time with family, moments of introspection, and the overall enjoyment of a well-organized home. If Diane can accomplish this transformation, then you too have the power to reshape your environment into one that supports your well-being and brings you inner peace. Remember that the journey to declutter is a personal one, and it is perfectly acceptable to take it one small step at a time. Each positive change you make is a step toward a more harmonious life. If you found these tips helpful, please hit that like button, share this video with someone who might benefit from these insights, and do not forget to subscribe for more life advice that is tailored just for you. Your support means everything, and together we can continue to empower seniors to live their best lives. Welcome back, Old Person Channel. Today we are diving into something truly special, and I invite you to settle in and listen closely. If you are in your 60s, 70s, or even 80s, and you can still do these 9 incredible things, consider yourself a rare gem in today's world. These abilities, which are gradually becoming less common as time goes by, are a testament to the fact that if you have held on to them, you are not simply aging, you are thriving. I want you to pause for a moment and ask yourself, how many of these abilities can you still do? Reflect on that, because as we work through this list, you might be pleasantly surprised by just how capable you remain. If you are able to check off most of these abilities, then without a doubt you are defying the odds. So please, stay with me and discover if you belong to this extraordinary group of seniors whose skills and qualities set you apart from the crowd. Over the next few minutes, we are going to celebrate these unique skills and attributes that make you stand out. Whether it is keeping your body active, staying mentally sharp, or embracing technology with ease, each of these abilities is a clear demonstration of how vibrant life can be after the age of 60. And here is the best part. Please stay with me until the very end, because I have a special bonus tip that can help you maintain a youthful spirit regardless of your chronological age. Believe me when I say that you will not want to miss this valuable insight. But before we dive into the first ability, if you are enjoying what you are hearing so far, and if you want more content like this that can help you live your best life after 60, please hit that like button. And if you are new here, do not forget to subscribe to Life Advice for Older People for more tips on health, wellness, and lifestyle. It only takes a second, and it really helps us keep providing the kind of content that matters to you. Now, let us get started. Here are the 9 things that make you a rare gem if you are 60 or older and still going strong. Let us see how many of these abilities resonate with you. Let us begin with one of the most important abilities: staying physically active. If you are 60 or older and you can still move freely, walk without pain, or engage in any form of physical activity, then you are already ahead of the curve. Physical activity is not just about maintaining a pleasing appearance. It is about feeling good and ensuring that your body functions at its very best. Regular movement plays a pivotal role in your overall health, and I cannot stress enough how crucial it is to remain active as we age. Whether you prefer walking, dancing, swimming, or practicing yoga, these activities not only help maintain your mobility, but also prevent stiffness and improve your balance, which in turn contributes to a higher quality of life. Staying physically active is essential, and it offers numerous health benefits. For example, one of the major benefits is improved mobility. When you move regularly, you keep your joints well lubricated, your muscles strong, and your body flexible. This translates into a reduced risk of falls, which is extremely important as you grow older, and it ensures that your overall mobility remains robust. Balance, another critical aspect, is often compromised in the absence of regular physical activity. Many falls among seniors occur because of poor balance. However, research shows that even simple exercises can significantly improve stability and reduce the risk of falling. Beyond balance, regular physical activity enhances your coordination, which is vital for maintaining your independence. If you are someone who still enjoys simple pleasures such as gardening, walking your dog, or even just getting out of bed and stretching in the morning, then these activities are clear signs that you are already doing the right thing for your body. Moreover, regular physical activity has numerous mental health benefits. It can improve your mood, reduce stress, and even help with symptoms of anxiety and depression. When you engage in physical movement, your body releases endorphins, which are natural mood boosters. It is like having a natural antidepressant working within you, and all it takes is a few minutes of movement each day to experience this effect. You might be thinking, I am not up for intense workouts anymore, and that is perfectly fine. There is no need to run marathons or lift heavy weights to stay physically active. Plenty of gentle exercises can still have an enormous impact on your overall health. For instance, walking is one of the best and most accessible ways to stay active. It is as simple as putting one foot in front of the other, and it is a low-impact activity that can be easily incorporated into your daily routine, whether you choose to walk around your neighborhood, through a nearby park, or simply within your own home. Even a modest amount of walking, such as 20 to 30 minutes a day, can contribute significantly to your cardiovascular health, improve your circulation, and give you time to clear your mind or enjoy the beauty of nature. Dancing is another excellent example of physical activity that should not be underestimated. Whether you enjoy ballroom dancing, take part in a fun dance class, or simply move to your favorite tunes in the comfort of your living room, dancing is an enjoyable way to stay active. It not only improves your flexibility and balance, but can also contribute to better posture. The fun factor is crucial here. When you enjoy what you are doing, you are more likely to stick with the activity and see lasting benefits. Yoga or simple stretching exercises are also wonderful options. If you are looking for an activity that improves flexibility, reduces stress, and strengthens muscles without putting undue strain on your joints, then yoga is an ideal choice. Many beginner-friendly yoga classes are designed specifically for seniors, focusing on gentle movements and stretches that gradually build strength and improve flexibility. In addition, yoga promotes deep, controlled breathing, which can help lower blood pressure and encourage relaxation. These activities not only benefit your body but also have a positive impact on your mental state. They are enjoyable, easy to follow, and can be performed at your own pace. You can start slowly and gradually increase your stamina as you become more comfortable with the exercises. Now, I would love to hear from you. What is your favorite way to stay active? Do you prefer walking, dancing, or have you perhaps discovered the joys of yoga? Please share your thoughts and ideas.